Okay, hello people of either Reddit, my Twitch, or on YouTube in general. It is I, Sakamoto, in terms of streaming, YouTube, and Reddit. So, either way, I am Sakamoto448, and I am currently working on like the Reddit teams that have been posted, and thank you all for like 184 responses, which is quite a lot. I did not expect that many. I did stop the responses now, mostly because of the order I'm going to start doing things. And so I'm going to make the teams and based on the Pokemon with the most responses and then go down. And if there's ties, then I'll run the marble game. So the responses have been increasing for the time being. Before, like, Charizard was not here at all, and Umbreon was actually 4 responses, so he's actually been going up. However, Swampert was the first one to reach 5 and was the highest even until now. So I did Swampert first, and then I will run the marble game after the Swampert team to see whether we're going to do Charizard or Umbreon, but that'll be at the end of the video. So yeah, but anyways, thank you so much for the 184 people that responded. So as you can see, you could quickly see a lot of ones. But either way, we will run the marble game just to kind of keep it random and not choose favorites or anything like that. So yeah, so the first Pokemon, as I said, was Swampert. And to be honest, so Swampert was kind of difficult. So here's the team. Let me show you guys the team right now. So it's Swampert was the Pokemon we're trying to build around. I tried messing around with a couple of things. For example, Trick Room. Which I'll explain later. I've tried running Trick Room. I tried running Tailwind. Just give it like max speed and etc. And I tried running the Rain Team. And I feel the one that I felt more successful with was the Rain Team. And I've been trying to do the ones that you guys have been suggesting. So we could go back to the responses here. So one of the 5 responses here was Swampert with Salamence. I wasn't so sure what they meant by playthrough. So it was just kind of, I guess, if it's just playthrough, you could just play your own, whatever you want to play. Oh, I messed up. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe you guys want to specify a little bit more what that meant, whoever that was, or maybe you guys had an idea what he tried to mean by playthrough or post game. Maybe if it's like the story, I don't really think you would need to have a competitive team for the story. But anyways. So let's see. Let's keep going. The next one was just Swampert, which, oh, thank God. Like usually, if you have something like this, that's perfect because it just lets me do whatever I can, whatever works. Because I know I did ask in case there was a specific pair you wanted. So, and I do try to do that specific pair, but sometimes if it really doesn't work or if it's just too much of a setup, then I'll give it a try, is what I'm trying to say. I'll give it a try, but if it doesn't work, the final result might not be exactly what you're looking for. But at least it will have Swampert or whatever Pokemon we're trying to build around to. So that last one was just Hoenn, another Hoenn starter. And then it was just saying like no legendaries, I guess, or something. This one was, I guess, the one that I tried to build. I guess this is the one that is exactly the final result because there's a Regieleki with it. But performs well under Trick Room and Tailwind. And the last result, I believe, was the most interesting one, and the one I was playing around with the most was Swampert with Crobat and Goodra. And the point is, as they said here, use Absorb to proc weakness policy, and that's from Crobat, and then Goodra to switch in for Rillabooms or any just in general grass hits like Kartana or maybe a Solar Beam from Torkoal or something. So I did try this one, and this one was honestly the first one I did try to give make a team around. However, there was just so much setup for this one because it would take just 2 turns to have Swampert online. And unfortunately, like if we come back here to his stats, so this is the build, but let's go to a blank one real quick. I know there's like only 2 teams of Swampert there, and I said I had so many, but I have in my other laptop. And if you guys want to look at the other ones that I gave a try, just let me know and I'll like edit them in there later, or just put links down on like the comment section of the other, like the Trick Room team and just a basic like the Crobat weakness policy one. But okay, so Swampert, anyways, as you can see, his stats, you know, it's 100 base HP, which okay, it's pretty good. 110 is pretty good. 90, 85, and then 60 speed. The most problematic stat for me was the 60 base speed. I have, at least what I think, and I think I've heard this from someone else too, the awkward speed that some Pokemon are in, where they're not fast enough to keep up with all the other Pokemon, even at 252 with Jolly and whatnot, like just max speed, and they're still too fast for Trick Room. And there's a couple of Pokemon like that. Like one of the good examples is what's his name? The crab one. Kingler. There we go. Kingler. Oh my god. Like, see, Kingler, 65 base speed. But honestly, like his attack is really good. His defense is super solid. His special defense is not so good, but you could just slap an assault vest and then he's good, essentially. But that 75 speed is kind of what just doesn't make him get used. If he was either at least maybe like 40 or 30 speed, you could put him in Trick Room. Or if he was maybe a little bit faster, like 90, then you could do Tailwind and stuff. But I honestly think between like 50 to almost maybe 80 is like the top, I would say, is like the awkward tier, the speed tier. And so you would have to invest so much speed, Tailwind, and all that just for them to keep up. And so that was a big problem with Swampert, and that's why I suggested, that's why I was thinking of doing Trick Room. And I saw in Pikalytics too, a lot of people were kind of doing the same thing I was thinking of doing Trick Room. So for example, we look at Pikalytics here. Yeah. And so Assault Vest is usually the main one, Expert Bell, Choice Band, Rindo Berry, Weakness Policy, Life Orb, Choice Scarf, and so on, so on, so on. And then of course Torrent is usually the main one. I don't think anyone would use Damp. Maybe there would be a specific time if for some reason like Mind Blown gets super popular, then you might as well, you could have him as Damp instead. But yeah, and I see, so here, look, you can see the example here. EV Spreads is Adamant with 0 speed investment, just going max bulk and attack and so on. As you can see, maybe a little bit of speed, but usually no speed up until like the 3%. And this is kind of how I have it more or less. But not that much speed though, not max speed. Okay, so let's start with the Swampert. The reason why I picked Rindoberry, apart from other items like, you know, maybe just making him a sweeper with Life Orb or having Weakness Policy. Well, even though I honestly think Weakness Policy is probably the weakest item, since his only weakness is a ×4, so he might as well just be dead at that point, essentially. So, but I know like other people make it where like how in the Google form someone said Absorb, you know, with Crobat and stuff like that. But like I said, it just requires too much setup for that. Definitely, while making this team, feel how nerfed Swampert has been without his Dynamax. Like the Dynamax, I'm sorry, not the Dynamax, the Mega Evolution. Like without the Mega Evolution of him having Swift Swim hurts so much. And I used to like rain teams, honestly, that's all I ever play since Black and White. Like honestly, like it was just my favorite rain. It was just my favorite weather, and overall like the synergy with all these Pokemon were really good. And so especially when they added that Mega for Swampert with the with the Swift Swim, I was like, ooh, like that was really good. And Swampert was really good with Swift Swim. But honestly, in Sword and Shield, without his Mega Evolution, or just without having Swift Swim in general, like he could not even just delete Mega Evolutions. Him not having Swift Swim, even as maybe a hidden ability or something, hurts a lot. It hurts him a lot. So I had to play around that too. So either way, I still did add the Tailwind, and not going for a slower Swampert or a bulkier Swampert. I did go bulk, but not as much as going 252 HP as most of the people have been doing in Pikalytics. So you could see a big chunk, like since the very beginning, you can see 252 HP, 252 HP, like a good chunk. If we were to add these percentages, this would be more than 50%. Like I'd say like, just counting this, probably like 62% or something like that. So yeah, so I went the other route and just went for max attack, some speed, specifically the 84, and I'll talk about that later, and 172 defense as well, which I'll talk about as well in a little bit in depth. So yeah, so I picked the Rindoberry to specifically survive just one grass type attack. Since I know the biggest threat will probably be like the biggest threats I thought of with Swampert right now with Sword and Shield is Rillaboom and Kartana, and that's kind of it. I know there's like Torkoal and all this stuff, but usually with Torkoal you could just stop the solar beam with rain, or you could just protect knowing that it's gonna come or something. So, but really with Rillaboom and Kartana, we really can't do anything, especially with Rillaboom because of the priority Grassy Glide. I mean, so that one was the biggest problem. However, with Windowberry, you can survive one Grassy Glide. That's why I have the 172 defense. I think Oko is 12% or something like that. Like, it's really low. Let me see. Let me double make sure. I have it here. So that Grassy Glide with, yeah. Oh, no. Actually, no, yeah. I calculated this right. So, yeah. So, it's a 12% chance to one-hit KO Grassy Glide with the Grassy Surge on with the Windowberry. This is why specifically I went with 172, because I wanted to maintain at least 100 speed just with the Tailwind to be at 200. And that kind of outspeeds things without them using Tailwind 2, like them being normal speed. But yeah, so you'll be able to survive one. And of course, if Grassy Glide's gone, you'll be able to survive two, which is really good. At least two. So it's 50%, right? Like 60, yeah, like at least two of them. So it's really nice. But either way, you'll be able to survive one Grassy Slide like this, which is really good. And so I picked Jolly because of that same reason, trying to maintain that. Oh, where is it? Trying to maintain that 100 speed. So yeah. So to continue with Swampert, we have to protect, just protecting, liquidation as its water stab move, earthquake. I was debating with earthquake or high horsepower, but at the very end I decided with earthquake just because it's a spread move. Spread moves are technically a little bit better, even with the whole spread damage reduction stuff. Because it will pair well with, just protecting Earthquake, or having to switch in with Pelipper Earthquake or Bronzong Earthquake in case we go up to Trick Room. And I'll talk, like, Bronzong was a really cool one too that I'll talk about as well. Like, I'm going to talk about the whole team, but so yeah. So you could go with Earthquake or High Horsepower, but I specifically went with Earthquake because of that in mind, that I have a good chunk of Pokemon that I won't have to self-damage myself with, other than probably Rillaboom. But either way, Rillaboom should be okay with especially with like going pretty high bulk on HP. So I have Liquidation, Ice Punch. Ice Punch was the one I was most worried about because I was thinking of just going Iron Tail, even though it's 75% accuracy. But it is a Steel type move, and it could help against going Glaciers or anything like that. And just Dynamaxing as well, and having the max Steel Spike, having max Quake as plus special defense, having max Steel Spike for plus defense and stuff. So it's just overall giving Swampert more bulk for more survivability, since he does fairly survive, but not as much. Like, the team is very fragile. It's more aggressive, trying to be aggressive, popping the Tailwinds and just trying to do as much damage as possible. Because that's honestly how I feel like the meta is right now. It's either you just try to go as much as you can, very offensively, hyper offensively, and just dish out damage, maybe like doing pivots and stuff, or going bulky Trick Room, or just bulky in general. Just being bulky, surviving the hits, and then just slapping really hard too. So, and getting the boost from like Beast Boost and what is it, the Chilling, or like those Horse boosts, or just boost in general. So that's honestly how I feel the game is at the moment. So because of that, Swampert doesn't get any boost, or at least overall the team doesn't get any boost other than from rain. Then we just have to play really offensively just to make sure they don't start growing too fast with either weakness policy or any beast boost or any just boosting abilities. So yeah. And so Ice Punch is specifically for like Rillabooms or like grass types or flying types in general. Rillaboom, Grassy Glides, and we could just punish with the Ice Punch. Specifically, if it's, I think, around 50% HP, we should take it down. Or how much is Ice Punch? Yeah, around like 50% HP or so. Like, that's how much it would go. It would go down to. Doesn't do that much, but either way, it's a nice punish, and it's a nice surprise. Being able to survive at ×4. Specifically with a Swampert and a Rillaboom, like specifically a Rillaboom ×4, it's kind of crazy with Grassy Surge. Like, that's a lot of damage. So the next Pokemon we're talking about is the Rain Setter. As you can see, no, it's not a Politoed. It's Pelipper, which is the most least used one out of both. I mean, like Politoad's more popular because it's bulkier and stuff, and it has better support moves. But from what I've seen in terms of rain teams, and like from what I've read too, like I've read a couple of articles in terms of having a better understanding of rain teams and stuff. But if you need more support, like in terms of icy winds, maybe doing perish songs and stuff like that, helping hands, then for sure Politoed is the way to go. For Pelipper, it's more viewed as more offensively. So if you see a Pelipper with like a rain team, you're mostly going to go against a more offensive rain team. So yeah, so the reason why I picked Pelipper is because of the same reason. Like, we just gotta go offensively, and also it has good utility too in terms of tailwind, which is very, very important, especially with Swampert. And it's won me like a lot of games too. Just having Swampert being in Swift Swim. I mean, not Swift Swim, in Tailwind. Like literally, the Tailwind is its Swift Swim. It has to be, because honestly, without the double speed, it has a big problem. It really does. So, I have Hurricane for Pelipper having Stab, Weather Ball, because I know you'd be like, I know some people rather choose Scald or maybe some other move. But honestly, I think Weather Ball is really, really solid. It's a really solid move, especially if you're already playing with weather. Even though if the weather isn't entirely the one you're trying to use, like for instance, my rain team is mostly going to be a water type move, and it's going to be 100 base power because it's going to be doubled, and plus that's going to be considered stab. So it's a lot of damage, especially for a Pelipper, especially for an offensive Pelipper that I'm doing with 252 special attack and special defense. I mean, special attack and speed. It does a lot of damage, and Pelipper has gotten me a couple kills here and there. So like honestly, I think Weather Ball is a really good choice, even if it's not the weather you want. Like I've honestly played around with Ice Punch and Weather Ball. I mean, max Hailstorm with Weather Ball in terms of specifically changing the weather to hail, so I could have a 100 base ice attack onto a Dragonite. But yeah, so like playing around like that and thinking like that is really important. Especially if you're gonna use Weather Ball. Like Weather Ball is really solid. It depends, like, trying to adjust what typing you need to use, but you can play around with it, and it's really fun. So yeah, and then U-turn to pivot out. If you get the tailwind out and you feel like Pelipper ain't gonna do much with either Hurricane or Weather Ball or anything like that, you could U-turn out of there with the tailwind. You'll be pretty much safe, and then just maybe switch to something else. Rillaboom to have the Grassy Surge, and then next turn just Grassy Glide, just that. So you should be good. Next one is Regieleki, man. Regieleki is so strong. I know a lot of people use him for screens, and screens is cool too. Like, I understand why to use him for screens, because he's super fast and you can just kind of do whatever he needs to do, and then you're out. It's a good pivot Pokemon as well, just like for screens. But however, for offensive Regieleki is so good, especially for rain teams. Just having that Thunder with Magnet and Transistor does a lot of damage. So much damage. Like, it's insane how much damage that does. So yeah, so Regieleki is really strong. So for the moves, I have Electro Web for just having as a spread move, and also just speed control in case they do Tailwind or something. Then I could just Electro Web to lower down the speed in case I really need to. But specifically, I use it more for a spread move, just because Regieleki, it's already doing ×2 damage. So Electro Web, either way, as a spread move offensively, does a lot of damage as a spread. And plus, if it doesn't KO it, it's a minus speed drop, so it's really good. A Volt Switch to pivot out in case it's not a good matchup, just yeet. And there's a specific pivot you could do as well with Pelipper as well. So you could start, for example, Swampert Regieleki, which is kind of what I either start with Swampert Regieleki or Kingdra Regieleki, and then just turn one, just Volt Switch, and then switch to Pelipper, and then Dynamax either Kingdra and just go for max Max Geyser. And I mean, it's already boosted and everything, so it does a lot of damage. It activates Swift Swim, so it's honestly really good. It's a really good turn one. Same thing with Swampert. You could just Volt Switch Protect if you need to, or Volt Switch and then you can either Dynamax or Earthquake, which I usually usually do more Earthquake than Liquidation, to be honest. So you could Volt Switch, Earthquake, switch to Pelipper. You know, he's immune because he's flying, and you kind of, it's a good turn of 1, essentially. And if they ever do hit Regieleki with like a ground type move, you know, Pelipper is immune to it, so you don't have to worry about that. So, like I said, it's more of a pivot. Thunder, like a really strong electric move. If the rain is up, of course, you don't want to use it if, you know, there's sandstorm or anything other than that. Other than that, you just want to use Volt Switch or Electro Web. So yeah, the specific spread, honestly, this spread, I've been using it thanks to most of it. I got it from Wolfie Glick. However, I did change it up, I believe, to add more speed. I have more speed in general, so I am going at 256 of 100 EVs to Timid Nature. Next one is Rillaboom. Rillaboom, really good. You know, we need a terrain setter. Everyone needs a terrain setter. I was thinking of Tapu Fini because, you know, she's water. Spamming Muddy Waters is really good, especially weather boosted. Spread move lowers the accuracy, so it's a really nice synergy. However, I was worried about, you know, Rillabooms, like Regielekis and stuff, specifically, you know, grass types, electric types. Just having already another water Pokemon in there when I already have Pelipper already ×4 on electric, and then I have Swampert already ×4 with grass, and then just having another water type as Tapu Fini in there would be a big problem already. So I would have to worry about specifically water and grass. I mean, electric and grass when it's already super popular with those two Pokemon out and about. So in the end, I decided with Rillaboom, specifically to target any other water type moves, or just I have it with Miracle Seed, so it could do more damage with Grassy Glide. You know, Grassy Glide with Misty Surge up. I mean, not Misty Surge, with the, you know, grassy terrain up, giving the boost. Miracle Seed giving you more boost. It does a lot of damage. Kingdra being usually the one I Dynamax the most, just so we could have some reliable damage on the team. Pairs well with Swift Swim. It has Hurricane, Scald, Draco Meteor, and Protect. You know, Hurricane just get some +1 speeds in case we still get outsped on Tailwind. Scald as Max Geyser for stab. Draco Meteor as Max Wyvern for stab, and having the attack drops and Protect. It's kind of pretty much Kingdra's standard set essentially. And then Bronzong. Bronzong is kind of, he was the last edit in the draft, or I mean in the finalized version of this team. Bronzong is also still specifically for Trick Room. However, I don't have to worry about too much about Glacier, which is usually the one, like, if you think about Trick Room, the one that comes into mind is honestly Glacier, like the Ice Horse. Like, literally, that's the only thing. We don't see Rhyperiors anymore. Glacier is usually now the new Rhyperior. But and usually the moveset, as you can see for in Pikalytics right here, Glacier, usually you'll see high horsepower, Icicle Crash, Close Combat, Protect, maybe like a Heavy Slam, Icicle Crash, whatever. But the only thing that really hurts him is Close Combat. The Bronzong. Bronzong is a really good Trick Room, anti-Trick Room Pokemon right now, because the only thing you have to worry about is Urshifu, with Wicked Blow, Crit, or Moltres. However, you could slap that thing with a Cobalt Berry, reduce that damage, and you're a 2-hit KO with Urshifu, Wicked Blow, Crit, and I believe like a 3-hit KO with Bronzong with Moltres. So I have Flash Cannon for damage. I'm running Protect and Trick Room for the Imprison. So I Imprison, Trick Room, and Protect, because I know like Protects are kind of annoying, and it's just good to stop Protects in general, which is like I used to run this exact same setup with Chandelure with Protect, Trick Room, Imprison, and then running Shadow Ball. But this was like way back before Crown Tundra, before the DLCs came out. So that was like an entirely different species on its own during that meta. But I feel like Bronzong is a really, really good Pokemon right now that people are just sleeping on to stop Trick Room stuff. Because the only thing we really have to worry about is Moltres and Urshifu, specifically Urshifu. So with Levitate, it's really good, so you don't have to worry about the ground type hits, which because you could pick either Heat Proof or Levitate, and I'd say the most popular one is kind of ground type moves, you know, with the high horsepower, earthquake, and stuff like that. You know, for Millibooms, like in case there's other Swamperts or, you know, Landorises, you know, Landorus, Glacier has it, Metacross has earthquake or high horsepower as well. So it's really good. So you don't have to worry about ground type moves. The only thing you have to worry about is fire type moves, but it'll be what, Incineroars, maybe some Heatrans, but you could just protect those too since you have Imprison Protect. So, and yeah, and you stop Trick Room, so you don't have to worry about taunts or anything like that. So it's really good, and also plays a good mind game because they won't know which one you have, so they have to just kind of guess. They're gonna have to guess turn one whether you're immune between fire or ground. Hope you guys like the team. Let me know. You, like I said, you can put your comments down, like in case I didn't explain anything too well. If you want me to repeat something or like explain something a little bit more in detail, or anything, or anything like, oh, like, you know, like maybe you should have done this, maybe you should have done that. Like I always take comments. Like I said, like the reason why I'm doing this is so I could better improve my Pokemon skills, I guess, my VGC skills, my team building, my understanding for Pokemon and stuff. Like I could confidently say like I've improved quite a lot from the time. Like, but yeah, but like I said, you guys give it a try if you want. If you guys are interested with this team, just let me know in the comments. But definitely once like the holiday seasons kind of ends, I'll for sure kind of speed things up a little bit more with the teams. So yeah, so thanks y'all for watching, and we'll decide the team right now. Alrighty, okay, so now that we finished talking, let's see what is the next Pokemon team we're gonna be doing. So we have Charizard here, we have Umbreon over there, and let's start this. Let's see what we get. Oh my goodness. This is honestly the first time I've used this deck. So let's see, where is Umbreon? Oh, he's over there. Oh, they're going into the circle thing. Oh my god, I think Charizard's in the lead here. Okay. Where is this going? Oh, it's going down here. Alright, let's see who pops out first. Ooh. Umbreon's kind of stuck there for a while. Oh, Charizard's just going. Look at that. Oh no. Where is Umbreon? Are you still? Oh, you just barely got out, man. Oh, honestly, Charizard's just killing it. Dang. What the fuck? Alright. Oh, yeah, this map's pretty huge. I need to learn how to use these controls better. Oh. Here we go. Where's Umbreon? Oh, Umbreon's catching up. And right now, Charizard's getting stuck. Oh, Umbreon might have a chance. Oh, they're both stuck here. Oh, Charizard's slowly getting out. Umbreon, you need to catch up, man. Oh no, Umbreon's still struggling. Charizard's slowly going through, but I think Charizard might make it. How's Umbreon doing? Are you still up there? Wait. Oh no, you're right there. Oh, you got out. Nice. What are these things? Oh, they're like little bumps. They're like those gums that you get. Those like the normal gums you get. The hard ones. Ooh. Oh, dang. Charizard just popping off. He's just going. He's just breezing. And Umbreon is slowly catching up. But I think this might be the end. It's already kind of there. Oh, yeah, no. I think Charizard won this one. Yeah. Ooh. It just skipped it. Yeah. And I guess our winner is the Czar. Is the Umbreon just fell. Alright. Okay, so yeah. So there we go. The final result is Charizard being our next Pokemon to make a team with. So look forward to that. That'll be Reddit. I guess we'll call this like what? Reddit team building. Reddit challenge number 2. But yeah. But anyways, so yeah, the next Pokemon will be a Charizard teams. But yeah. But thank you all for watching so much. Thank you all for watching until the very end. And hopefully y'all look forward to the Charizard. So bye-bye. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.